Today we're down in Devon and we have been invited by Anne Baxter to join her in her lovely home, which is always full of some wonderful quilts. So thank you so much, Anne, for inviting us down here.
Pleasure.
To the lovely kitchen. So it's been a while since we've seen each other, but I'm sure you've been busy quilting.
Well, you know, once a quilter, always a quilter.
Absolutely.
You never stop, don't
No,
you?
you don't. You don't. And we've chosen a couple of quilts from your workroom to talk about today.
Well, this one, I have to tell you, is it's a combination of recycled shirts. My husband cleaned out his wardrobe a year or so back, and there were all these lovely shirts lying on the bed. And I thought, oh, you can't possibly take those to the charity shop. I just have to keep them. So I bundled them all up. And then you just sit and wait, don't you? Wait for the right project to turn up.
Yes, you do.
And then a very dear friend of mine showed me how to make this quilt. It's called a hopscotch quilt, and it just seemed ideal to use the shirts with. So that's what I did. But it's quite different working with shirting because it's a much tighter weave than normal fabric, isn't it? So it's noisier because the old needle goes thumping through.
It makes up so beautifully.
It's got a very nice crisp look to it, and this has got quite a seaside feel to it. I feel this
really
quilt.
Nice. And similar fabrics on the quilt behind us?
Indeed, there were quite a few shirts, you understand, in this pile on the bed, but they were really good quality shirts. You just think I just can't chuck this out.
And there's a lot of fabric in a shirt actually. When
There
you take
is.
the sleeve out
There
and open
is.
it up.
Didn't do much unpicking. Did a lot of cutting up
Cutting it
seams.
out, yes.
But if you spend an afternoon cutting it all up and then pressing it all, you're absolutely right. You'd surprised. It's surprising how much fabric there is in there.
Yeah. And we've got another lovely quilt hiding under here.
Well, yes, this one has some sentimental value to it because actually a friend in the village, I made quilts with her two daughters when they were teenagers. They are in their late 20s, 30s now. And actually these are the leftover fabrics from those quilts. So just from a personal angle, this is sort of quite a sentimental quilt. And it's a sort of, I called it Glad Tidings because it's a Christmas quilt, but not overtly Christmas. So, I mean, I know it's got a little Christmas tree on there, but you could just have it as a star quilt, really.
Very much so.
So it's not, you know, it hasn't got sort of any glitter or anything on it. And actually, it's got a huge amount of good old Debbie Mum fabrics in it. Do you remember Debbie Mum?
Oh, yes, definitely.
She was an absolute favourite of mine, so it's got a lot of old Debbie Mum fabrics. And it's a sort of variation on a monkey wrench or churn dash block, and I sort of fiddled about with the measurements so that the centre square could accommodate, you know, a few little bits and pieces. Mainly stars on here, but I did put the odd Christmas tree on just because it was supposed to be, you know, slightly festive. And then actually it's one of the few quilts I've had long arm quilted. It's quite a sizable quilt, and I sent it away and had it long arm quilted, and I have to say I'm absolutely thrilled to bits with it.
It does make a difference, doesn't it?
It is very lovely. I mean, I quilt most of my own quilts, but that one I just had a long arm quilted, so that worked quite well.
Well, on the seasons, this one is a different season. This one is spring.
Now, this is one of my latest hot off the press. This is called Spring Hare. I love linen, and I've actually done quite a few cushions with linen in. There's just something rather nice about it, and I don't like red and linen as well. But anyway, this has got a very lovely pale green hair on here, and I also love cushions that aren't sort of squares. They're just a slightly different shape. It's just slightly more unusual. So this is called Spring Hare, funnily enough. It's only just a bit of applique, but it's just, it's a nice little cushion, really.
It certainly is. And here's another nice little cushion, same size.
Same size, yes, but seasonally more festive.
Yes.
Again, the red and the linen, you see, I've got a thing about red and linen, imaginatively called 5 red baubles. And actually got quite a bit of hand stitching on here, which is quite unusual for me.
It is for you.
Yes,
it is for you.
And although these are embroidered on here, you know, you could sort of translate this and maybe fussy cutouts, you know, out of Christmas fabric. So it's a nice sort of, it's a bit of a movable piece.
You're right. Some of those sort of Hoffman style fabrics with the big prints, and this could be very versatile.
I have done quite a few workshops on this, and some women have got, you know, really good imaginations. Somebody did actually fussy cut out some nice shapes.
Very nice
patterns on there.
Very nice.
So that's all quite
and
good.
I like the stitching too. Nice edge.
Well, it just gives just a little edge on there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Your cushions are really nice. Well, here's Scrappy.
Scrappy, again, the linen and red theme continues. Very popular. It's got a sort of Scandinavian feel to it. And the red and the cream is a good combination as well. So these are string stars, and it's just a regular sort of square size cushion, but this star just floats in the middle and it's framed off with this. Again, this is red linen. This was a Moda linen, I think.
It's a very soft red, isn't it?
It is. It almost
not
looks
pillar
like that
box.
sort of washed out look to it, and I like that sort of faded, faded look to it.
Faded is a good look.
Yes.
And then bound edges on this one.
Yes, yeah, no, I'm very keen on a bound edge, and particularly when you've got a contrasting fabric
Thickness,
like this,
yeah.
it works quite well.
No. And another cushion.
Completely different, very retro. This is a great technique called Magic 4 Patch. And we've had huge amounts of fun with this. Very simple cushion. As I say, very retro. This is a kind of a bit of a Marmite cushion. You either love it or hate it, but I'd like kitchen curtains in that fabric there, frankly.
Yes.
But here's the old Oxford flap
flap.
around the outside edge. So that's, that works really well. And actually this block, if you did 9 of these, it would make a fantastic, really quick quilt. And as you know, I'm a very big fan of a quick quilt.
Well, you and me both. And I think we're going to do a workshop on this. And you said that you could do this size in layer with using your layer cakes.
A layer cake works fantastically well with this, and I find that a lot of women, they'll go to a quilt show, they'll buy a layer cake because they are very appealing, because it's a very good way of buying a lot of fabric or a lot of different fabrics.
Different fabrics, yes.
It's all the same family, it all sits together nicely.
Of course they do. But also you can find 1 or 2 that maybe you don't want, and although they kind of were printed to go together, they might not fit your particular colour scheme. So what a great way to use the old ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that
really
works
super.
really well. And it's, if you've not done Magic 4 Patch, it's just one of those techniques that you have to have a go at, because it's just, it's great fun.
Well, I can see that I'm going to be really inspired by all your workshops, and thank you so much for inviting us down to join you
No,
today.
my
It's been
absolute
lovely
pleasure.
to see you again.
No, great. Nice to see you too.